Hello, my name is Amy Smith, and for my semester project, I chose the topic Elderly Activist Nun Civic Actions Exposing Nuclear Threats at the Oak Ridge, Tennessee nuclear plant. The reason why I chose this topic is because Oak Ridge, Tennessee is not very far from where I live. And I thought it to be an interesting topic. Oak Ridge, in September 1942, the land where Oak Ridge, Tennessee was made to become a federal nuclear secret power plant. This has to do with the invention and research going on for the atomic bomb. However, today, Oak Ridge is not an active base, but they do have research studies for uranium. And the problem with this is that there's tons of radioactive material spilling into the ground, the underwater groundwater, and there's different reservoirs and rivers in the area. Watts Bar Dam is one of the areas where there's been fishing, and people like to go there, but they can't eat the fish because the mercury is very toxic. So, the lady that over the year there's been different protests there. One such protest was by a 90-year-old Sister Megan Rice, who became a nun with the Society of the Holy Child Jesus, and taught different protests against natural events and tragedies. She joined this group called Transform, but now it's called Plowshares. They mainly did disruptive nonviolent protest. And on July 28th, 2012, at around 2:30 a.m., she and two other Plowshare activists, Michael Wally and Gregory Boteri Abed, entered this Y-12 National Security Complex, aka Oak Ridge nuclear base. And while there, there were signs basically saying, "Do not trespass, we'll shoot on sight," and stuff. Well, they really didn't get caught for a few hours while there. They used bolt cutters to get through the fence and walk into the complex. During the whole time they were there, basically no alarms went off. They left a Bible, white roses, painted messages on the walls. They were basically just being about peaceful stuff, not trying to be crazy, go in guns blazing. Eventually, they were caught, and Rice and her fellow activists thankfully weren't killed. But however, they were sentenced to 20 years in federal prison and $100,000 in damages under the charges of sabotage, trespassing, and depredation of government property in 2014. She spent 2 years in prison. While in prison, she exchanged letters back and forth with different other protesters and explained the importance of trying to protest this the nuclear activities. They did, however, after the 2 years, she was eventually let go, and her charges were appealed. However, she still claims to this day that she did not break into the facility, that she did enter it legally. So, um, she elaborated that the nuclear site was illegal under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, requiring that existing nuclear armed states must take steps towards disarmament. Yet, almost 2 decades after this was signed, after the end of the Cold War, the U.S. continued to spend at least $52 billion a year on nuclear weapons and less than 10% of that on disarmament. She says that it's a crime against humanity, which I guess I can understand that. We're supposed to be disarming all this nuclear weaponry and try not to prevent others from having nuclear wars, but yet we are still manufacturing and having scientific evaluations and studies about them. And this is Sister Rice. And I really applaud her for her bravery, especially at her age. And the lessons that's one of the lessons I learned, is that you can still try to take a stand and become peaceful about it and try to do what's right and make others aware of what's being harmful going on around you. And you can be any age, young or old. And what was important is that she thought others need to know about what was going on still in their own backyard. That the nuclear waste from this has poisoned people over the years and has caused cancers and sickness and deaths. So I believe it's very important that she let her story be known and let others know what's going on around her.